Welcome back to the channel. In today's video, I'm going to show you a more detailed look into how to make a Funko Pop drawing of a person. For the purpose of this video, we are going to be drawing CarlSagan42. He's a YouTuber, he's a Twitch streamer, he's a scientist. He is a Mario Maker extraordinaire. I've done a line of these creator series at this point in the Mario Maker crew. So today I figure let's just keep it going. I base all my my custom Funkos on Funko Pop molds anyway, so I do the same with the drawings because might as well. It adds that authentic look to it when your drawing is similar to what Funko would put out. So I use the body of Bill Nye and the head of Neville Longbottom from Harry Potter. I start out by setting up my document. Back to front is the original drawings, followed by the outline, etc. I do this to help myself with the layers. Most of what I do is predicated on, front and back, what's above the other part in the drawing. I always start by doing the outline. It's just the pen tool with the two different selectors, and you just trace the drawing. We'll go ahead and finish that up and then move along to the hair. Alright, this is the final outline, so this will be that white glow around the pop drawing. We'll go ahead and fill that in later. We need it transparent so I can see the original Funko artwork. I save all the time, you should too. I don't want to redo 5 minutes of work, so save it as often as you can. The very back part of the hair is going to actually go on the head and face layer, just because it's going to be behind everything. The main part of the hair is just like the outline. You're just tracing the basic shape of the hair. Don't worry about stroke on the line. Don't worry about colors. Don't worry about thickness. Just get a line that fits in the middle of the line you're trying to trace. So now we have the outline of the hair itself, and what we're going to start doing is adding all those details in there. So we'll zoom in and we're going to add this little highlight. There's two of them here, you'll see. It looks like a different color in the hair. We'll achieve that by just messing with the opacity of that. So we're going to just trace again this rough shape, and we'll mess with all the details in a little bit. So when I get the other side done as well, what I'll end up doing is grouping the two of these together so that I just click one of them and it selects both at the same time. This way, if I change the color on one slightly, I can change them both at the same time. So we'll color the both of these white and then adjust that opacity down so that they are see-through. Now we'll start on all these little line details. The idea here is to just use a super thin stroke so that you can get the general shape of the line. We'll go ahead and edit all the lines at one time later, but for now we're just tracing them in. Same way we grouped that top layer together, we're going to group all these little lines together so that if I adjust one, I'm adjusting all of them at the same time. We'll make sure to get those bottom little sections of hair. This is what it looks like. We're going to go ahead and adjust all of these. So this is a good illustration of what I meant, that everything's predicated on layers. Even within a single layer, there's front to back. So this head and face that I'm about to draw now is going to have that skin tone, which will cover up those two lines that connect the bottom part of the hair. Alright, so now after getting the rest of the face done, we'll get the eyebrows done. One thing I wanted to point out here is that if I have to do something twice, I do it once, copy it, and then I'm going to reflect that over on itself and reuse that asset. It makes no sense to do things twice. So if you do things once, it's usually easier to modify it to fit your needs the second time than it is to do it again. So I just flip that on its axes. I manipulate it just slightly by stretching or skewing, and I have two eyebrows. And then we'll get working on the body. So same thing as the head and hair. We're gonna layer this thing. And we're going to start by getting the rough outlines of everything and then go back in and add the detail after. We're drawing CarlSagan42. We're not drawing Bill Nye, so that means no necktie or no bow tie there. We're going to draw a t-shirt and a neck because they're going to be two different colors. So with layers in mind, we're going to draw a little neck shape here that will make the same skin tone as everything else, and we'll draw a t-shirt shape that will all fit in behind the collar, the shadow, and the head itself when we move that part over. So we'll start getting all those extra details in. Some of the stuff I ended up doing was just superfluous because the Nintendo Switch case we end up putting in there will block it all. Regardless, we're going to get all these basic shapes in here, and we'll add the finishing details at the end to make it look more like a Funko Pop drawing, not just a bunch of simple lines and blank shapes. You'll see the transformation here soon though. So we're just finishing up the last bit of the detail here. It's the same thing in every little section of the pop drawing. Just zoom in and do each section a little bit by little. Editing the shadows, getting the layers ready there. So here are the two wire outline drawings that we have. Now we can start going in, editing all our colors and our shades and make sure everything's where they're supposed to be within the drawing. So first things first, we're going to move that head over into place here, and we're going to start adding colors. So like I said earlier, I like to reuse assets. I don't want to do things twice. So these glasses, these eyes, these hair drawings, for the colors, I've already made all these gradients. I've already done all those. So to redo it is just a waste of time. So I pulled those out of an old drawing. All about the details, so I got the box art for Mario Maker 2. That's another little custom thing I'm doing to this drawing, so we're past the point of tracing, and now we're manipulating it how we want. So I've got the Mario Maker box here. I add a little wire frame around that, add some opaque white, and we've got the little Mario Maker 2 Nintendo Switch game. And this is the part I talked about earlier where we're going to manipulate everything. You're going to mess with the line weight of things. You're going to mess with the line shape. You're going to add colors and gradients. And then where they are in a layer in relation to each other dictates a lot. So that big shadow blob goes behind the collar layer and now it just pokes out. So those little details and touches on each little part of it make the drawing pop so much more. After putting in this final line that I noticed I was missing at the last second, and a few details, you'll be able to notice the big difference between our wire drawing before we added details and what the final product looks like after we've spent the time on each section to add those details. And there it is, CarlSagan42 as a Funko Pop. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hit the subscribe button if you want to see more like it. I'll have more out sooner rather than later. If you have any questions, please feel free to leave those below, any suggestions, etc. Keep on creating, everybody. I'll see y'all in the next one.